It was a solemn mood here at Ground Zero as political adversaries set aside their differences for the day to pay their respects. Vice President Kamala Harris represented President Biden, while nearby stood Rudy Giuliani, who was mayor of New York on 9/11.
But the main thing that struck me yesterday and destroyed my day was standing there with this group of, I consider, criminals who have made my country much more dangerous than it was the day before and the day of September 11th. I mean, these were all the people standing there who bring in the Islamic extremist terrorists.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. And Rudy Giuliani complained to Steve Bannnon that people who had nothing to do with September the 11th participated in the memorial ceremony. Rudy Giuliani crawled out of his crypt long enough to join slimy Steve Bannnon on another worn-out version of War Room recently and presented some of the sloppiest rhetoric that he's put out to date.
Bernie Kerik and I and Maria were standing there. Bernie Kerik and Maria really despise Mayorkas. They see him as a walking liar. And I can't stand Harris. And I heard her giggle. And Bernie and I looked at each other and I said, we got to get out of here.
First off, Rudy Giuliani shouldn't have an opinion on 9/11. Sure, he was the mayor of New York and his old buddy Bernie Kerik was the police commissioner, but that was 22 years ago and both of them have fallen far from grace. Rudy said that seeing Vice President Kamala Harris at the 9/11 memorial just ruined his day. He moaned and groaned to Bannon about the things that he didn't like about the ceremony as he mentioned his old buddy Bernie Kerik.
I can't stand at this sacred ground. To my right was not a single person I ever saw on September 11th. Bloomberg showed up, a couple of days later when it was safe and became mayor on the back of it and on my back. And the rest of them never were there, had nothing to do with September 11th. And here they're being honored at a September 11th ceremony for bringing terrorists into the United States in numbers we didn't know before September 11th, who I know are building toward another attack because I know them and Bernie knows them probably better than anybody.
Giuliani tried to make it sound like Kamala Harris and other folks were just bandwagon jumpers because he was there first. He said that he and Kerik looked at each other and decided to leave. Good riddance, Rudy. Nobody wants you guys around anyway. Kerik used to be New York's police commissioner, but later pled guilty to federal tax fraud and served 3 years in prison. Giuliani has been leaning on him to help him find a lawyer that will represent his RICO case in Georgia for free. Kerik, who is not a lawyer, agreed to help Giuliani at no cost through his first leg of the Georgia case's prosecution. This initial stage includes negotiations for bail and other administrative services. However way you look at it, Rudy Giuliani is in a world of hurt. He's telling big stories to distract away from the situation that he is in. Rudy, did you ever think about what other folks thought when they saw your raggedy backside at the ceremony? Could you imagine folks seeing you and thinking, there's that nasty little troll that drops ass on everyone? Rudy Giuliani was once respected, but he threw it all away. Rudy's opinion is absolutely worthless, and that is a fact. Sappers clear the way, airborne all the way.